Tonight, we dive into a world where cryptids exist, shrouded in mystery and fear. 8 investigators are on the trail of 8 legendary creatures, each with their own deadly secrets. But can they uncover the truth before becoming prey themselves? In this game of survival, nothing is certain except the thrill of the chase. Welcome to the Drama Does TTRPG 2024 Halloween Special. The Cryptid Chronicles, where the unknown lurks in every shadow, and the hunt for the truth is as dangerous as the creatures themselves. Our next encounter, the Mycelid, a fungus-born creature with spores rumored to possess miraculous healing properties. But as whispers of its power spread, a powerful corporation sets its sights on exploiting the creature for profit. Can special guest JamesesJams uncover the Mycelid's secret and protect it from those who seek to control it? Or will they fall victim to the corruption that follows in its wake?
So here we are for another episode of OK Cryptid as part of the Cryptid Chronicles that I just named the other day. So all the other ones don't have Cryptid Chronicles in it, but you do because it's special. Yay! I am here with JamesesJams. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I, the person, am JamesesJams. And, yeah, I'm having some fun. I'm ready to meet this cryptid and possibly romance it or have it kill me.
What else do you do on the side? Come on, give yourself a little bit of a plug.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's been rumored that I do stream. Also part of the wonderful Cool Cids Club. Go check them out. You can find me on Twitter/X, JamesesJams. Same thing on Twitch. And that is it.
Yeah, so you're here as a monster hunter.
Hunter. Yes.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah. Hunter with an F.
Yeah, definitely interested in hunting monsters. Your creature is Mycelid. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your investigator?
His name is Jim.
Does he have a surname, or is it like Madonna?
Well, because I couldn't think of anything. I assume it's actually James because I just felt that it was just easier that way. But he goes by Jim. Pronouns are he, him. He is 35. His hometown is Dallas, Texas. And he was married for 10 years, but is been divorced for about 2 years. He loves action movies and is single and on the prowl. That just sounds... Oh, yeah, that's saying like that. That's fine. We're going with it. He will quote Mel Brooks movies, mostly Blazing Saddles stuff, which is why he goes by Jim, by Gene Wilder. 3 things he cannot do without, though: caffeine, his daily protein shake, and loves YouTube. He usually spends his weekends, because he works during the week, watching YouTube. He goes for a daily morning walk and is an avid computer PC gamer.
And what's the first thing people notice about him?
It's long hair, because it's somehow it's always straight. For some reason, anytime he had a girlfriend, they always just wanted to play with his hair. He occasionally drinks and smokes, but usually if he's like out at like a bar or out with some friends, so a social drinker and smoker. And he is a Capricorn.
So in the heart of an impenetrable swamp, where the air is thick with mist, and the chorus of croaking frogs, a legend whispers through the tangled roots and murky waters. Locals speak of a shimmering Mycelid, a mysterious mushroom-like being with enormous, luminous eyes that pierce the darkness like twin moons. Its hoofed steps leave no trace, and it glides effortlessly through both water and mud, its bioluminescent glow flickering like ghostly fireflies in the night. Desperate seekers brave the swamp's dangers, drawn by tales of the creature's miraculous healing spores and ancient wisdom, yet few return. leaving behind only stories of an elusive guardian whose presence is both a promise of hope and an enigma of shadows in the swamp. So how did Jim come to know about this creature, and why is he seeking it out?
Well, I think one night he was down a YouTube rabbit hole on cryptids. First, he's like, "Oh, well, let's look up Bigfoot, Sasquatch." It's like, this is boring. Everybody knows what that is. So, I think he went more in search of more lesser known cryptids, and he stumbled upon this Mycelid. And he might have tried to deduce where a swamp could find one is.
Why does he want to find it? Is it for the tales of healing spores and ancient wisdom, or is he just wanting to see if it's true, if he's just on a creature hunt?
Yeah, everybody's searched for Bigfoot. Nobody's ever found Bigfoot, allegedly. So he's like, well, what if just out of curiosity, what if I found it?
So where would this swamp be, do you reckon, that you've isolated potentially as to where it is? Are there any swamps in Texas?
I don't really think so, but I think in neighboring, maybe in a bayou in the neighboring state of Louisiana.
So is he able to take just time off work randomly and be able to go? Or, I mean, he doesn't have a wife, I guess, to hold him back, so...
I think he, since being divorced, he just threw himself into a lot of work. And so he's got vacation time saved up. And he's just like, you know what, it's, I want to take like a month off. And he got it all set up with work. So he could just take all the time he needed.
Oh, easy. Love that. And he's got all the money in the world, not having to support anybody else but himself. So he can take that time off and take that plane. Love it. So where do you think he would be at this point? Do you think he would be getting ready to go, or do you think he would already be there and be poking around sort of maybe not necessarily the swamp yet, but the towns around it?
I think maybe he would arrive, he would have arrived in Louisiana and is going to maybe go talk to locals, like in certain bayou areas.
Okay, so you kind of deduce a location as to where this swamp is, and you kind of come across a small town. It doesn't look like there's a lot of people that live there, but it's established. I mean, there are houses. There seems to be like a town square. There are people there. There's a hotel, like a bar that you can stay at, and yeah, you walk into town. What's the plan?
Well, you always see in movies when people are looking for things like this. Go talk to your local bartender. They've always got info.
You look for the local bar, and it's called the Prancing Pony, and you can see it because it's got a sign that kind of like waves back and forth in the wind. It looks very wooden, very made out of like wooden stone, like a typical bar you would have seen in the movies. And so you trot on in, and there's a couple of locals there sitting at the bar. You can see that they're just kind of getting out of the sun and enjoying their afternoon drink. And there is a young lad behind the bar cleaning glasses, and an older gentleman with mutton chops kind of washing down the bar as you come in. And he looks up and he goes, "Ah, a new one. What brings you to these parts, friend?"
And he kind of leans in almost conspiratorially and just like, I'm looking for this Mycelid that I saw on the internet and have been reading about.
And the bartender just slaps the bar and says, "Oh, another one. Another one of you weirdos. You don't know what dangers you're trying to put yourself in here." And he pours you like a nail and just kind of slams on the bar and says, "Drink that, get your wits about yourself, and go home."
And I'll drink it, and I'll say, "Are you sure?"
Am I sure?
I'll pay for the drink, but then I'll also tip as well, like $10.
He'll look down at the money and shake his head and be like, "Am I sure? I have seen hundreds of you weirdos coming into town looking for some kind of spooky mushroom. And you know what? I haven't seen any of them come back. So whatever you're finding in that swamp, you don't even look like you're dressed for the swamp. You don't even look like you're ready to even go into a swamp and survive, let alone go after a creature that might be there.
Where's the nearest outfitting shop?
And he kind of throws his hands up and goes, "Oh, for love of God." Well, you know what? I have tried talking you weirdos out of this stuff before. You know what? Fine. If you want to go out there and die, go die. That's no skin off my nose. You paid for your drink, so that's fine. Just across the way is Macy's shop. She has clothing, she has waterproof things, whatever. But you know what? Don't say I didn't warn you. And, I mean, I hope that you come back so I can tell you that you're a fucking moron. And he kind of, like, waves his hand and, like, beckons for you to leave.
Jim thinks that's a little rude, but you know what? That's fair. And he will say, well, thanks for the warning. Appreciate it. Ale is good. And I hope to come back with tales for you. And he will heed the warning to at least leave the bar. And he will go over to Macy's.
Yep, so you go over to Macy's. It's a little store that's full of odds and ends. Like, it's not really like a district kind of shop. It's almost like one of those, like, Salvation Army stores or secondhand stores. So it's full of odds and ends. And you walk in, and as you walk in, the bell on the door, that's on top of the door, goes off. And a short woman sort of pops her head up and says, "Oh, hello! Oh, you must be new here. Let me guess, you're after the mushroom, aren't you?"
Yes. Finally, somebody who is happy to see me going after this mushroom.
Hi. We get a lot of you people around here, and, you know, some people are just frustrated by it, but other people are like myself. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want with your life, and if going after a mushroom makes you feel fulfilled, then so be it. I'm guessing you'll want some things for the swamp.
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
She says, I've got some of these boots here, and I have some overalls that are waterproof. I'm not sure what you'll need. I'm not sure if they'll be in your size, but you're welcome to look through the store and find them.
All right, and I think he will. You know, got the rubber boots. He's got some waders. I'm thinking he'll find some bug spray that may or may not be out of date. I don't know. I'm not gonna check. Probably some long sleeves, so you know we don't want to get bit by probably all the bugs that are gonna be there. And so he gets one of those caps with the flaps on it, and maybe he'll get some camping gear. It's like a tent and stuff for a fire, maybe some MREs. It's just all kinds of awesome stuff. And he'll bring it all up and let her bring it up and pay for it.
Before he pays, the woman will sort of say, "Look, honey, you don't need to pay for any of this. It's, I would prefer a trade, though, if that's okay with you."
Well, we got to trade.
Well, if you go and you find said mushroom, I would like a sample of its spores, you see. I have an illness, and I would like to see if this creature's spores are as miraculous as the stories say. I'd go after it myself, but I'm just too far along with my illness to venture so deep into the swamp. And everyone else that I've spoken to, my families, my friends, they just think I'm crazy. But if I could just have a couple of those spores, I think I'd be able to overcome this. So you can take whatever you like. Just, please, I'd like those spores.
Take your trade. But just in case, I've been warned I might die. I don't know why. But, and he always has cash. And he goes, okay, here, I'm going to leave this cash here in case I don't come back. That way, the equipment has been paid for. And you're not out anything. And if I come back with these spores, then I'll trade you for my money back.
You're an absolute gem. I do hope that you succeed. Many have failed before, but I like you, and you seem a little different.
Thank you. That's what Mom says. Can I give you a hug?
And she happily comes over and just gives you a big hug and kind of taps your face a little bit. You can see that she's a little bit older than you are, so she's taking on the very motherly kind of grabs at your cheeks kind of thing.
And he will say, well, thank you, appreciate you, and I hope to be bringing you back some spores.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I hope so. Absolutely. And you're welcome to leave.
And I will give her a nice wave goodbye, and I will head on out the door.
As you head on out the door, you start to see that a lot of the townsfolk have sort of come out to watch you. It seems like word from the bar traveled very quickly through the town, and so they've all come out to watch the next lunatic go into this swamp. They don't really approach you or say anything. They're just kind of murmuring amongst themselves, watching you like a freak. What does that do to you? How does that make you feel?
Jim is kind of used to this sometimes because he's always been a little bit aloof. He's like, he just waves, and I will see y'all on my return, knowing full well that they don't believe it.
Right. Our first card is the Lovers. It's not death. Like, we hate starting off with death, but it is in fact the Lovers. So, for the Lovers, the creature has shown a quality which you find especially attractive. Was it a signal to get your attention, or was it a passive act that confirms that the creature is the one for you? How do you react to show that you are on the same wavelength as the creature?
Maybe he's gone back to his hotel and he's sort of going over his notes and maybe going over some of the videos he's seen, and he's looking over pictures, and he's like, you know what? I've been single a long time. What's not to love about a monster?
What are these depictions that he's seeing? How have people drawn this creature?
It's probably more like in like an almost almost anime tone, but not that voluptuous anime type thing. More like aesthetically beautiful anime girls or something, but with
So someone's sort of gone like, oh, here's my rendition of all of these cryptid monsters, and like drawn in an anime style, all of these different creatures, and the Mycelid kind of stood out to you as a humanoid.
yes, a kind of humanoid. If you've seen like Monster Girl stuff or whatever, something almost like that, and it's like, well, this could be attractive. What have I got to lose anyway? If anything, I meet a cool monster if this is real. Or what if things happen and develop? Who knows? I've been single for a hot minute. I've got nothing to lose. And just maybe if I woo the monster, maybe that's how I can achieve the spores needed as well for the very nice lady at the odds and ends shop.
What to Jim is something that is especially attractive? Is it maybe like a walk or a dance or a certain look? Like what would it be?
For Jim, one, it's not really sort of a look. It's more like, I would say, confidence. You know, you look good. That's awesome. And maybe like it could be like a walk, a certain like maybe saunter, which would go with the confidence thing. Because Jim does not usually approach. He's shot his shot a couple times, and he has been shot down. And so it's like, you know what? Something about this. Maybe I'll get asked first, or I shoot my shot. What like okay, like he keeps saying, what is there to lose? He's out here to have a fun time. He hasn't had a vacation in 2 years since his divorce. So if anything, he's out here to have a fun time. Maybe I find a monster, or maybe people laugh at me when I come back, and you know what? I don't live here.
So you're laying in your bed and you're mulling all of this over, and you're kind of like, well, at the end of the day, like, I will shoot my shot. I'll give it a go. I'll see what happens. And you're sort of going through the files of what you've picked up from home to kind of look over the creature and sort of really just kind of focus in on that monster girl design. And so with that in mind, you kind of drift off to sleep. So is Jim an early riser? Would he be an early riser for an adventure like this?
He would, maybe not right at dawn, but like not too long after, get up, have himself a cup or two of coffee, and go over his itinerary, so to speak, of the day. Maybe on the agenda is he needs to go rent one of those fan boats he's always seen, and he thought about getting a guide because you know what, I think I got this. I'll be fine. Well, he also has to think, you know what? If I try to get a guide, he's either going to get possibly swindled because he's a tourist. And he figures, you know what? I've got maps of topography of the area. I think I'll be all right.
So you go to the edge of this swamp, and there is a small dock. And the dock, that's where you're able to rent this fan boat from. And you find that the locals that you've interacted with, so like the hotel people and this guy, they're kind of just ready for you to just take their stuff. They've been through this before, over and over again. But the boatman kind of says, "Look, mate, just keep the location beacon on, would you?" And then you can see that there's a flashing light at the back of the boat. He's like, "I don't care if you come back, but I just want my boat back."
Yeah, look at me go. Understandable. I hope to come back and return your boat to you so you don't have to go out and find it.
And he kind of like eye rolls, and he's like, "Yeah, just and try not to damage it too much, eh? Just try not to run into anything." And he's just so done with it.
Someone said he wins the race. Got it.
So you hop into this sandboat, and it starts up fine. It takes a couple of revs, and then you're kind of on your way. And as you go into the swamp, you are on essentially what is like a bit of a river. And as you go deeper into the swamp, you see that it starts to become uncharacteristically dark. Like the trees and the foliage in this swamp are so thick that light doesn't seem to penetrate through very well. You'll get a couple of patches of sun rays coming through, being the day, but it's almost like you can't see very far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely start to take it slow. And I'll have to probably stop a few times to consult the maps and stuff that I have. Hopefully, I should be on the right track.
I'm gonna make you roll your first roll. I would say roll curious, just to see if you're knowing where you are. So 5, the investigator fails at their task, but suffers no ill consequence. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to see in this darkness. So your map, you start to see that things start looking the same. The bends that you're taking look the same as the last bend you were taking. And you start to suddenly feel like maybe you're a little lost. So what does Jim do now that he thinks he's lost? What's the plan?
He will stop, and he's trying to get his bearings. He's telling us, okay, don't panic. This is literally, this is like the first few hours. We'll be all right. And he has to tell himself that so he does not panic. And he's just trying to, like, he's trying to get his bearings. And he's looking around. He's okay. Don't think I'm close to where this thing is at. And he's consulting, and he's going, well, what if I just, and you know what? Screw it. And he'll maybe try calling out for the creature, and maybe he might get a response.
Roll charming for me then.
15!
Very nice. So, you've got above 10, so you succeed with a bonus. So, you call out to this creature, and sort of as you speak, as you kind of like call out to her, you kind of see a ways away 2 enormous luminous eyes that almost look like twin moons. It's far enough away that you couldn't really make out the rest of the shape of whoever's there. Also, if you tried to run towards it, you would probably struggle because you can barely see what's on the ground. So, but you see these 2 eyes, and then you kind of see it move side by side, like side to side, kind of swaying. And all of a sudden, coming towards you are these light, sort of light blue like lights, and they kind of like, as if there was wind, kind of float towards you from this creature and kind of surround you and provide you with a little bit of light. And they just kind of hang in the air around you. They don't hurt. They're kind of like fireflies. You can poke at them and they kind of just bounce around in the air. But it's almost like the creature is giving you a gift.
I will, well, thank you. And I'll try to console my, okay, okay, maybe I turned around here. And okay, and we'll be like, oh, I'm forgive me, this is rude. My name is James. I go by Jim. I've came out here trying to find you. I mean, no harm. And what do you go by, if you can even speak?
Creature is unfortunately a little too far away to hear you talking to it. And just as soon as the little spores reach you, the two globes disappear. But you did succeed in your charming roll, so I get to give you some stuff if you would like some stuff. Because you succeeded in charming, you can draw a card from the clue deck and add it to the meeting spread, which means you get there a little bit faster to see the creature. Or you can add a +1 to your Kiss Me score. The other option is to take a card away to make it go longer or whatever, but that's up to you. So which one of those would you prefer?
I'm gonna put +1 into Kiss Me.
Okay, perfect. Do that. Absolutely. And you also get either... Okay, so because you rolled above a 10, you can either get a gift card from the deck, or you can have a +1 to your next roll. One of those two.
I will take the gift card.
Alrighty, so we will flip this over, and you have a page of castles, and I believe page is the same as Jax, and Jax is 11, and it's castles, which is... If I come back over here, castles is pentacles, and pentacles, as this represents a physical gift, such as food, a keepsake, or even money. So you have that in your repertoire. You're going to have to hope that the castle card that's in this spread somewhere is higher than 11. Yeah. I shall put that there. So the creature's disappeared now, and you've got some buddies in these luminescent sort of floating little spores. You get the sense that these aren't the healing spores, but they are providing light, and they seem to follow you wherever you go. Would you like another story card?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, we have the Chariot. You work for an outside entity or organization who has an interest in the creature. Is this collaboration tense or friendly? And what do both parties gain from this collaboration? So who or what is the organization that you work for?
You know what? I'd probably how they do. I would say I probably work for Google.
Oh no, not Google.
Yeah.
Okay, so you work for Google. And so what's the arrangement between you and Google?
I would say I am probably middle management, like IT. Probably in their... I started out at the help desk, and then I think I'm more like a manager of a manager of help desk people, and I've kind of been stuck there. So also, this vacation is also a getaway from just the monotonous life of sitting at a computer desk all day.
So Google would have offered you this opportunity. How do you think that would have come about? So you're supposed to be doing something for Google in regards to this creature.
I'm thinking I stupidly looked up some of this stuff online on a work computer, and I think probably somebody on one of these forums also works at Google and maybe said something, and they say, okay, well, if you can bring us back pictures, we will promote you. Otherwise, you're stuck here, and this is where you will stay.
I like that.
Versus wallet.
That's true. Maybe, again, just the thoughts that come to my mind.
Oh,
Maybe
I like Fox.
Google is branching into medicine. And they want to get... This is like a different division of Google, the big corporate entity that doesn't really exist, but you know what? Sounds similar to one that may already exist in our real world. But...
it's a pharmaceutical department that they're opening up. We call it a Fugle.
Yes, Fugle.
PHOOGLE.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, so maybe, like I said, you were looking this creature up on a work computer, and someone from Fugle, the pharmaceutical branch of Google, came up to you and was like, hey, we want this creature because it apparently has healing properties, and that would be a fantastic product for us to offer once we can catch it, dissect it, and commercialize it for big monies. And basically they've turned around and said, so either you go out there and find it, or we will make you disappear. And as Google, we can do that.
And getting all Amazon on us. Oh no. Yeah, I think that's probably what was said to him, and probably instead of instead of taking a vacation, I'm on paid administrative leave.
Mm-hmm. No one's supposed to
Eh,
know where you are or what you're doing from
yeah.
this. Yep, it's all top notch. Okay. So, just as the creature sort of disappears, your phone buzzes in your pocket.
Signal out here.
Surprisingly, it's...
I'll pull it up and see what is going on.
So you can see that it is a private number, and you kind of get the sense of that you know what that means.
Oh, it's probably Mark. Shit. And I will begrudgingly answer the call. Yeah, hello?
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Fine. Just out here in the swamp. What's going on?
Good to hear. My name is Jonathan, and I'm a representative from Amazon. And we got a bit of a tip-off that you're doing a little something for a little organization called Fugel. Am I correct?
No comment.
It's okay. We already know everything anyway. Google thinks they know everything. So do we. Yeah. I'm just here to make you a bit of an offer. Find the creature for us, and we'll double everything that Fugel's going to give you, as well as offer you a bit of protection.
And he'll mull it over for a second. I mean, in his mind, Jim is thinking, "This is stupid." And he's like, "You know what? Google's been relatively good to him, and it's like, I really don't want to have to look over my shoulder, even with so-called protection." And he'll just say, I'm going through a tunnel. Sorry, you brick." And just hang up. And then he'll just block that number.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and he'll take the SIM card out of his phone.
Oh.
Nobody needs to know where I'm at now.
Apparently nobody knows now. Alrighty, so what's the plan then?
The plan now is all right. Well, we've got some light here. It looks like you got some help. We're potentially at least on the good side of the gray line of what is hoping the nice side of this creature. So he's like, you know what? I want to meet the creature first. Let's see how things go, and then I can make up my mind exactly what I would like to do. So I think Jim's like, you know what? He'll consult his maps again. All right, and he'll just look up at the spores. So I don't even know if you can hear me, understand me. Can you maybe help guide me to where you're at?
And the spores kind of wiggle around you. Yep. So I would get you to roll curious just to see what these little spores are doing.
7.
7. All right, 7. You succeed, but at some cost. So, what you notice these spores are doing is they almost seem to be sort of forming a line in front of you. And it's kind of like as you walk past one, it dims and almost like flies in front to the other one. So it's kind of like a little breadcrumb trail leading you in a direction. I mean, you don't really know what direction that is, but you kind of assume.
Does it look like now we're on more sort of soft, semi-solid ground now, and I can step off the boat now?
Yeah, you've stepped off the boat, and it looks like they're leading you down this soft, spongy ground. It seems to be taking into consideration any roots and things, so you see that they start to twist and bend, and so it's not necessarily as the crow flies, but it is lighting up essentially a path for you. For that kind of instances, you will have a -1 on your next charming roll.
All right, that absolutely okay.
But you did necessarily succeed at your curious, so you get to choose one of these 4 like or dislike cards to flip. So 1, 2, 3, or 4.
We'll go with a 3.
You have a 3 of castles. So castles was the physical gifts, like money and whatnot. However, it doesn't like it very much, and your card that you have, your gift card, is too high. But yeah, so that's unfortunate, but you still have plenty. You can always get another card that's in the castle suit that might suit your needs, or you'll get another one to do with any of the other ones. Okay, so given that, would you like another story card, or is there something else you would like to do before we progress in that way?
I say, let's go with another story card. Let's keep the ball rolling.
The Emperor.
Oh.
Someone else is investigating the creature with impure intentions. How do you throw them off the trail and ultimately learn from their investigation? If previously drawn the chariot, which we have, it may be from the entity or organization you work from.
This could fit because I hung up on Amazon.
You did hang up on Amazon. You hear a low humming coming through the swamp, and it sounds like a swarm of bees, and you can hear it coming closer and closer. What do you do?
I will now plead with because apparently it seems that these spores can understand me, and I'll say, I have something to confess. I was originally sent out here to potentially harvest your spores if they were even real, and another entity is now chasing me. Can you hide me? We can have a further discussion, but please, for now, I don't want them to find you. I just would like to just talk. Can we hide?
You will need to roll charming at a -1.
As a 7, I rolled an 8. It'd be
It is a
-1 to
7 though.
So it's
It's
success.
okay.
With the
7
cost.
7 was okay. Yep, success per cost. So you watch these little blue spores sort of vibrate, and they kind of change position. They go from a glowing blue to what seems to be like a glowing purple. And they scatter a little bit, and they kind of start taking you off in a different direction, which you can see is going to be into some darker brush, which you may choose to follow if you wish.
We got nothing to lose right now. I'd rather not get caught by what sounds like a swarm of bees. So I will we'll soldier on and follow.
So as you follow them, they kind of essentially lead you to the water's edge, and they hover over the top of the water, telling you essentially to get in.
And I'll just, you know what? Let's do it. And I'll get in the water, and hopefully there's not like leeches or something. My mind rolls back to Stand By Me, and I'll just dive in and attempt to follow these lights.
Okay. So do you stay under the water, or do you just kind of get low, kind of amongst some reeds and whatnot?
I think I'll get low, and so that I can at least see and hear anything coming up behind me, and hopefully I'm gonna hide.
So the buzzing sound gets louder and louder as it gets closer and closer, and from your reeds, I'd like you to roll Curious.
Nice maiden. Don't fail me, please. It's 86. 10.
Oh, a 10. You succeed. So what you see is a couple of drones, making their way through the swamp. And you can see that these drones have a logo on them, and they are in fact the Amazon logo.
Those turds. And on seeing this logo and hiding, I want to just stay still and hope they don't see me. So I'm like, I'm in the water. There's nothing I can use to. Actually, you know what? Could I? Maybe this might be a deft roll. Try to maybe find something to toss in a different direction to create distraction.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I would think. Would that be deft?
It would be deft. Yep.
It's technically physical.
Yep. But before you do that, I will let you reveal another one of these cards, and I'll also let you, if you want, take one of these ones as well as your reward for succeeding in charming.
I will take a gift card, and let's go with numero uno.
Ooh, you got the 6 of claws. So unfortunately, again, a little too high. So please roll deft.
Oh, this would be horrible. It's a 1.
No.
I
Okay.
knew it.
Okay. So, you try and fumble around in the water to try and find something to throw at these drones. And you're making so much noise splashing around that the drones they spot you. They start coming towards you with like little searchlights. They find you in your little hiding spot. And you watch the belly of these drones open up, and a little arm comes down with a little black box attached to it that you see suddenly spark with electricity, and they dive for you. What do you do?
There's not much I can't reach for it because I'll just shock myself. But I'm in the water. Jim goes to think back. It's like, all right, I've seen plenty of action movies. He goes back and he thinks back in his memories. Okay, swamp. Who have I seen in swamps? Rambo. But I don't have a gun. So there is a bit of panic in Jim, and I think he will just say, you know what? He will try to. My next two may be a tree.
Yep, yeah, you are.
You know what? This creature has helped me out, and I was. Maybe I'll call out to them the Mycelid again, and Jim will just cry out. These things are coming to hurt you, and dissect you. Help me so I can help you. And he is just, to quote Bon Jovi, living on a prayer.
Roll your charming.
And we'll just roll charming. Do this. You can do this. Oh, the 10.
It's a 10. It's a 10. It's a 10. You succeed. So, again, almost hearing your plea, the little spores around you kind of vibrate and change again. And, however, you look to the left of you, and all of a sudden you see this ginormous wave coming towards you and the drones. And it seems to be gaining and gaining and gaining, and all of a sudden smacks the Amazon drones into the trees, and they fall down and no longer work.
I don't know your name, but for now I will call you Arvid.
Jesters of Ravenloft is a podcast where a collection of comedians have been sucked into Ravenloft. The best part is, none of them knew it was going to happen. 4 improvisers jump from a warm-up scene straight into a campaign where they have to build each other as characters.
So, we're looking at intelligence or strength.
So you're either really weak or really stupid. At first, they struggle to adjust, but soon they're picking catchphrases.
Looky, I got hooky.
Just quoting Hook.
Facing down nightmare monsters.
There was a man with a horse and flames and flying swords.
Not really learning much about where they are. Inside Ravenloft, there are hundreds and thousands of individual domains.
Boring.
I'm stuck in one of those.
Jesus Christ.
And running into our special celebrity guests.
It's me, Werner Herzog.
Did you rap on the Mandalorian and then get sent to Ravenloft?
Jesters of Ravenloft releases 2 new episodes every Friday, so journey into the mists with us now.
Debtors in Time, an Echoes of Chaos adventure, where debtors are sent back through history to retrieve artifacts for the insatiable Ignatius Thorn. But when Thorn calls upon once trusted Tucker Ridley, son of his gracious foe Ryan's son, and reluctant rebel icon Elena Haynes, the game changes. Tasked with collecting relics from the past, will they succeed, or will their meddling alter the course of history forever? Debtors in Time. Listen now on YouTube and Spotify.
Yep, it was very Lord of the Rings, was very Horse of the Rivers. Would you like to slow things down by removing a card from the spread, or would you like to speed things up and we'll go straight to the next card?
I would like to slow things down and remove that one. Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to take one away. Goodbye, Emperor. We still need another card, I mean, but, you know.
Yes. Still need another card, but I would like to take that one out of play for now.
That is now out of play. Okay. Alright. So yes, you are back on the track. You are wet from coming out of the reeds. Your skin feels a little bit itchy. You do find a leech on your arm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to do in this scene? Would you like to go look at the bodies or go look at the drones?
I would like to see if I can remove and destroy any maybe GPS chips that are in these drones and make sure that they are taken care of and not going to be activated.
Clever. Would you like to roll curious for me, please?
I would love to roll this. 12. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at you go. Hell yeah. You go up to these two drones, and obviously they're pretty smashed to pieces. The propellers are blown apart. So all that's really left are these two little black boxes. And you, working in the IT side of Google, have seen these kinds of things before. So you know exactly how to pull it apart, and you're able to get in there to get and destroy whatever is inside. So how would you go about destroying these things?
Oh, he would break it out of just anger and frustration. Like you are hindering my progress and potentially ruin any goodwill I might have already established. And so he will just angrily just smash it on some rocks and make sure there's just nothing left. It feels a little bit better afterwards.
I bet he does. So yeah, there's these little pieces of stuff on the ground. You would see like a SIM card in there, which you would most likely stomp on and, make sure there's any chips that are snapped. And you put this thing into the ground. You really, really do. And because you succeeded and you're curious, you get to pick another one of these two to flip over. One or two.
One.
Which was just one. So the page of crypts, and crypts is cups. And cups means emotional gifts, such as a heartfelt word, speeches, or direct affirmations. And because it is the page that is 11, it really, really likes it. So if you were to get any crypt cards, they would need to be less than 11. But you have an idea that this creature really likes emotional gifts. So heartfelt words, speeches, direct affirmation.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, it's got a praise kink. What can you say, really? And because you rolled above a 10, you can either get a gift card or you can get a +1 to your next roll. And these are non-stacking, by the way, these +1. So as soon as you use it, you lose it.
Okay. Yeah, because I've already marked off the -1 for the experiment. All right. You know what? Gift cards haven't been my best thing. So we'll take a +1 to my next roll.
All right, done.
So just the next roll.
Yep, so the next roll that you do will have a +1. So, the next one. The Magician.
Oh.
That is your next story card. You have attempted to reach out to the creature directly, whether physically with your voice or something you have left to get their attention. They receive the message, but you are unsure about how they react. How did you reach out to the creature, and how did they react? How can you try to make sure that your intentions are received as you have hoped? So as you're smashing these drones, you see in the distance, but a little bit closer than before, the two large eyes swaying back and forth.
I thought, you know what? I need to reassure Arwen here that I meant to come in peace. I may have been blackmailed, and I am sorry. If you feel the need do something, I understand, but please, my intentions were good of heart. Job was wanting me to collect things from you. I said that before, and then a rival corporation, which these drones here I have destroyed, thanks to you helping me, we're also trying to butt in. If you wish nothing else to do with me, I will attempt to find my way out of the swamp, because apparently I am causing you nothing but grief at the moment.
So you're saying this into the forest towards the eyes?
I am saying this in the forest. I know I'm saying it louder because I had a feeling the first time wasn't quite heard, and so I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, it's understandable, and I'm afraid of dying, but it's I kind of caused this, and so I would just like.
Okay. Well, how would you convince it to maybe not kill you? Like, you have a chance to be spared and so.
Yeah, I have a chance. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, because I know I was going out into like aquatic area and the swamp and stuff. Could I maybe have stored that picture that I was looking at the night before in like a waterproof bag or something?
Yep, I'll pay that.
All right, I will pull that out.
You would have gotten like one of those like waterproof backpacks, and you would have shoved everything that you had in there. I doubt you would have left anything back at the hotel. So yep, so you pull it out of the backpack, which was sealed. So even though you were in the water, there was no water that got into it.
All right, and I will pull out this picture and say, I don't know if you even look like this, but I find this beautiful. But no matter what you look like, I bet it is stunning. And could I perhaps maybe see your true self? And I think that's he's kind of all he has. He's like, beautiful. This picture is beautiful. I guarantee. I bet you're beautiful, no matter what you look like. And I will say, what I look like.
You're rambling about this poor creature. He's so scared.
Jim is just rambling because he's like, I don't want to die. Maybe this is a chance. And it's like, you know what? It's all he's got.
Roll charming +1. Go ahead.
All right.
You can't screw this up. Come on, man. Rolls all ones.
The 13.
There
the
you go.
+1.
See, that's what happens, right? What are you hoping? What is Jim hoping to get out of this conversation?
Well, obviously he doesn't want to be murdered, but it's at least he wants to get back onto the path of goodwill. I at least want to meet this thing. This thing doesn't like me. That's fine. I at least want to assure it that I'm not here to kill it. These other buttholes here are absolutely.
So the spores kind of like they dance around you, and they almost kind of like pick up the picture that you've got and sort of take it away. And you see it getting closer and closer to the creature in the distance. You kind of see it as if it's looking at it, and you see the swaying kind of get a little bit faster, kind of like as if it was giggling or if it was feeling giddy. And more of the spores come flying out at you, lighting along the pathway, enough for you to see if you're going to trip on anything. Plenty of light leading towards it. It's still a bit of a distance away, but now you know exactly where to put your feet.
And I will. Okay, this is promising. And I will tentatively step forward, find out, oh, this is solid, and just keep walking towards. And probably also to. I mean, he already seems like okay. It's giddy, and it's like, oh, nice. I would also want to make sure my hands are up. It's like I've got nothing. My phone is essentially isn't even operational, but I don't. It's like I don't even want pictures of this. Brought nothing but grief towards me. I can just have this experience for Jim. No one needs to believe me. Who would anyway? It's got nothing to lose. Even if I had pictures, they're going to get called hoaxes in the age of Photoshop and everything. And I think as a token, maybe to go along with this role, Jim will even take his phone and show it and toss it away.
Alrighty, so because you succeeded in your charming, I'll let you either give yourself a +1 in the kiss me, or you can take a card away and slow things down again.
I think you know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna add another one in that kiss me and make that.
Yeah, let's do that. And because you got above a 10, you can either take a +1 in your next roll, or you can take a gift card.
We would take the gift card this time.
Let's go with a gift card. A Knight of Claws. Ooh, nope, again too high for the claws.
Well, balls.
Yeah, we're trying. There's only so many cards you can pull, so eventually you'll probably get low enough on one of them. Alrighty. Would you like your next story card? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Let's story it up.
Here we go. We're over halfway now. Ah, strength. A major obstacle falls in your path. It is unavoidable, but it's nothing you can't handle. What is this obstacle and how will you endure or overcome this challenge? Add a +1 to the roll of your choose to make at the end of this scene. So I'll give you your next roll as adds a +1. Alright, so as you're following these lights that the spores are lighting up to you, you're seeing the flash of the light, the eyes at you, just getting closer and closer. You know, the creature seems giddy, excited. You can see it's not running away from you anymore, it's not getting further away. However, all of a sudden you hear this huge boom and this crash, splashing, and suddenly the eyes dart in a direction and they disappear. Light comes through the swamp and you've been in there for a while and your eyes have adjusted, so this blaring sunlight comes and hits your vision, almost blinding you for a moment. And as you look over, you see a white van-looking thing with a bulldozer scoop, and you just watch this thing begin in a straight line, barreling towards you, taking out everything in its path. And on the side of this thing, you see it says Google.
And this is where I would try to just swiftly pull out my laptop and try and hack into this thing and get it to almost stop or self-destruct or something.
So, thinking swiftly, you pull out your laptop and tell me what you do.
I'm going to attempt to, because it's going to have to put out a signal because it's being driven, not by people. So I just need to isolate the signal and kill it and keep it, and then so I can maybe get to it and rip out anything on it to stop it.
Okay. So are you going to run up to this thing and sort of jump on it? Do you have
No,
to, like,
not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
I would say this would be at the potentially maybe 2 rolls. I don't know, but I would say the first one would be curious, hacking with the laptop. And if that fails, I might just have to say screw it and might have to deft it. Even though I'm horrible at that.
So you whip out your laptop and you open it up and you have your familiar hacking software on it, which, you know, you've seen these AI machines before, and you got curious. And so, while you were, you know, under the eyes of Google, you still managed to find time to try and look into software that would interfere with these AI robots. You found this particular one, but you haven't had a chance to test it yet. So why not now?
Yes, and he will pull his laptop. He will put in some commands. In his movie mind, his movie mind palace, the movie Hackers is playing, and he will scream, "Hack the planet!" and attempt to get this hack off. I have that +1, so it's a 9. I don't know if that helps at all, but
It does, because you succeed. Yay!
yes,
You almost didn't succeed.
woo, yeah.
Alrighty. That +1 is there to help you get over the line. So you pass your curious rolls. So I'm gonna just flip this last one over. So you need to get lower than an 11 for the candles. So what does it look like when you hack into this system?
Making the moves, his fingers are just moving faster with the keyboard, trying to get these commands in quick, because it is barreling down, and he is determined not to ask for help again, if he does not have to. And I would say, as he hits enter on the final command, it comes to a stop, just in that hero moment, like you're like just a couple inches from him, and he can breathe a sigh of relief.
As the machine roars to a stop just centimeters before running over Jim, you sigh, take a massive exhale, And you look behind you to the darkness that still is what is remaining of this swamp. And you see that the Mycelid had run or had teleported or had moved to be behind you, as if it was expecting you to protect it.
Oh, I did it. I didn't have to ask for your help. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Ta-da! I love it. So, however, obviously this situation was a very stressful one for the Mycelid. So, you start to watch the eyes retreat back into the darkness. It still manages to remain shrouded in the shadows, so you still can't really get a view on what it looks like. However, as it moves backwards, it still leaves those lighting spores for you to follow.
And I look at the laptop real quick. Okay, alright, this thing has been disabled, and I will shut my laptop and put it back in my backpack. Like, alright, let's onward once more, and I will continue to follow these lights.
Okay. Alrighty, let me get you your next card. The Devil! Oh, no. The creature is mysterious and powerful, to be sure, but it's important that they respect you as well. How can you prove your worth and value to the creature? What do you have to offer the creature that it does not already have?
I think I just did something.
I mean, you did just do something, which, these cards are working in mysterious ways. However, how...
That replies to the last scene, not this next one.
So, switch them around. So what can you offer the creature that it does not already have? So, this creature had safety in this forest. It was doing its own thing, hanging out, whatever. It seems to have disposed of all of these other people that have come looking for it. So what else do you have to offer? Like, obviously you can see that it can defend itself. It's defended and defended you in the past, so maybe protection is not what the creature wants. However, Jim has been divorced for a while. He's been alone for a while. And from what Jim has seen and understood from this creature is that it is also alone. You haven't seen any other creatures around like it. You haven't seen a second Mycelid or a family of Mycelids or really any other creature in these swamps that is anything like what this Mycelid is.
It's at first in his mind, he's like, well, what if I can just keep people from coming out here? I'm like, you know what? People are just always going to come out here. That's just the way. So what if Jim can just offer that, the companionship avenue? He's already tossed his phone. The only reason he still had the laptop, which he was glad he had, was to stop that dozer thing. And he says, well, what? And he maybe he offers Arwen. I offer myself. I will leave all my worldly possessions that I don't need behind. He goes, I don't even know what the hell I would eat out here. I could learn to live off the land, probably. Can't be that hard. You've seen it on TV. And so he will offer that. He will offer himself. It doesn't have to be love, because he doesn't know can't sing love. It seems to be enjoying the picture and everything. It's like, well, maybe make a friend, or it can go further. Who knows? So, that's Jim will just say, I don't have much, but I can listen. I would just love to talk.
As you're following this pathway, and you are, again, Jim is just rambling, trying to figure out what this creature wants, being drawn into the swamp again. He's talking about it like, maybe you want someone to listen, maybe you want someone to cuddle, I don't know, just he's rambling loud enough for this creature to hear, and you can just see that the set of eyes are slowly just backing away, not to be trying to run away, but just kind of almost leading him somewhere where the creature wants him to be. As it's listening to your rambles, though, it stops for a second. And so do the spores. So the spores also stop. So, like, if you were to step forward, you wouldn't be able to see where you're putting your feet. And you start to see the eyes kind of tilt as if the creature's tilting its head to the side. And another set of these spores kind of radiate off its body and come towards you, and they kind of swirl around you, kind of just almost like it's taking in what you're trying to say. And I would like you to roll Charming to see if any of what you've said has gotten through to the creature.
3, 2, 1, 2. That's a 5.
So it is a failure. You do suffer no ill consequences.
I think I know what Jim did.
What did he do? Tell me what Jim did.
The failure was he mistook. They started to swirl around. And he's like, "Oh, is this a hug?" And he will attempt to try to hug, and because he just
He tried.
he tries to go in for a hug, and it is not what apparently it was wanted.
Yeah, so like as he goes to like I guess try and reach out to these little spores, they kind of just like fly away, like away from him. Why doesn't Jim just ask what the creature wants?
It was a dum-dum. The reason for Jim's divorce was he couldn't properly show feelings.
Oh boy.
Jim doesn't know that. He just, she just wanted to leave. That's rude.
I also want to pitch to you on Jim's behalf that maybe this mindset is echoing what he said to his wife before she walked out. Kind of a, hey, I know I'm just a bit weird and I haven't been showing you affection, but if you want to leave, then you leave. I won't stop you. And what he remembers when he said that to his ex-wife was kind of the look of sadness on her face. The fact that he didn't fight for her to stay. And in doing so, he didn't ask her what she wanted. He just resigned to the fact that she was going to leave, and he didn't even try to change her mind. And she really wanted him to. If he had just asked her what she wanted, if he had just stopped her at the door, then maybe she would have stayed. You rolled Charming, right? Did you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a 5. Horrendous. So you get to add a +1 to your kill me score. She was not happy with that. The Mycelid doesn't understand.
We're still in the positive on the kiss me side. So.
Yeah, that's fine. So in reaction to that, as you're trying to like reach out, like the Mycelid kind of just like the spores kind of like shake in a bit of like a frustration. Almost like, the Mycelid is trying to understand what you're saying, but you are not speaking Mycelid to it. So it doesn't understand what you're saying. It just thinks you're saying words. And it's experienced people like you coming in saying words before being attacked, lunged at, sought after, whatever. So the Mycelid then starts retreating again. However, they are not giving you the path anymore. So what does Jim do in reaction to this?
I think Jim can tell he fucked up. There's no more path. He goes, okay, this isn't good. 1, I don't know where I'm going. 2, it's not great, but let's try not to anger it further. So I think what Jim will just do, you know what? I can wait. And maybe Jim's like, fire isn't going to be great in a swamp anyway. Why did I try to? Jim will just like, I have these MREs. Maybe he will set up a little relaxation, quote unquote, relaxation area. Because it's still day. Well, not. How much time would have passed?
It'll be getting to the afternoon now. It'll be about the afternoon. Yep.
His stomach's grumbling anyway, so he'll just I'll sit up, I'll sit in a chair, and I'll pull out some of this food that I got. These MREs, probably not a tasty one because they're not supposed to be tasty.
So you kind of just stop in place and sit down and start opening up this MRE. You can't read the packaging because again it's too dark. I don't want to make you roll curious just to see if the MRE has mushrooms in it.
We could let's. I like this. Yes. Oh, it's a 7.
It is a 7. You succeed, but at some cost. Okay, so you succeed in there being no mushrooms in it. That's good. You take a mouthful of it and you kind of just spit it out. It's like rancid in your mouth. And so you're going to have a -1 in charming for your next roll as your consequence. So sitting there hungry, tummy rumbling, what is Jim going to do?
I'm assuming what you want, and that is not right. What do you want? And he's like, maybe you can, and he's like, oh, there's dirt and mud in front of you. So maybe you can draw a picture, or if you know words, what do you want? And we can go from there.
And you can roll charming, but unfortunately at a -1.
Yes, unfortunately. This is a lot in life. 13! No, it's 12. It's 12.
It was just a 12,
12.
but still
a 12.
look at
Still-
you
still-
succeeding with a bonus. Gift card. A 2 of candles. So candles is wands, and wands represents creative gifts such as poems, art, or music. The air around you is quiet. The usual rustling of a breeze blowing through and sounds of bugs in the air. But you sit alone in this quiet darkness, having spoken out to the void, being like, what do you want? I want to give you what you want. And in a moment's pause, you scan the area in front of you and around you only to see darkness until you start to see the spores once again coming out of the swamp and coming towards you. And they all circle in from all around you, and they come together into one big ball over your heart. And you feel a bit of a warm sensation there from the collection of these spores. And they just kind of hover there. What do you do?
Well, for one, Jim's got some butterflies in his stomach. And he's a little nervous. He didn't expect it to go like this. He feels a certain flutter. He says, alright, I will. And he goes, I don't want to say I want your heart too. That sounds like he's creepy. But he will just, in the dirt, he will also draw a heart. He's like, maybe the symbol sounds a lot better. And he says, I know you don't need protection. That's obvious. You don't need a knight in shining armor if you know what that is. He says, well, asking her what she wanted. That was a great start. He goes, okay, well. So he asks her, what does your love look like to you? Or to receive, what kind of love are you looking for? Which I would believe would be like a curious role.
It would be a curious roll.
And it's an 8.
It's an 8, and you succeed, but at some cost. So, the spores around at your chest don't move. They just kind of still glow and pulsate in that area. However, suddenly you hear a song through the trees, a melody. And as it hits your ears, you can immediately feel euphoric, uplifted. Almost like the idea of the creature receiving your heart would make it just so very happy. The cost, however, is you are so enthralled by this tune that you kind of lose a bit of your senses, so you'll be at a -1 if you need to do a curious roll. Alrighty, let me reveal the last card, and then we will get to the meat creep. High Priestess. The creature demands a secret from the investigator. How does this demand come to you? In a dream, in a cryptid visit, or a crackly phone call? If the creature likes what you offer, you gain a score in the Kiss Me. If you refuse or lie, it sees through your deception, and you gain a Kill Me.
I'm not gonna lie. I will. The secret that she doesn't know because it hasn't been talked about. As this song is playing in my head, maybe as I'm enthralled, I lose a bit of a mental block, and it can see into my thoughts that the deal that I've made with the Eartha Kitt lady. But it's not out of malice or to hurt. It's to help her, and at all possible, I would like to be able to help this lady. And I have not been. That's the one thing I haven't been forthcoming about. The area knows the deals with the job stuff and the obviously machinations of Amazon as well. So I would say that would be the secret that it is now privy to.
So as you're having this moment with the Mycelid, listening to the tune, you just feel your mind almost opening up like a flower. You have some control over it, of course, so you could snap it shut if you wanted to, but it seems like at this stage Jim doesn't wish to. However, I will still ask you to roll... I kind of want you to roll Deft to see if your instincts are also limited, so you don't, out of instinct, snap your mind shut from this weird invasion. I think that would be the caveat.
And Jim is very nervous about this roll. Oh, it's a 5. Oh, okay. It's a failure, but it's no consequence.
You fail, but no consequences. So basically the failure is the failure of your mind to stop this probing. So it is allowed into your mind and starts to sort of push its way through, and it starts to pull at memories and draw things out, and it draws out this recent memory of yours where you met the woman that was in the op shop in town. It plays in your mind as if it was on a TV screen, so you're kind of a third person, and you're looking at this woman, and you could see in her eyes that she is in so much pain. You know, when she goes to reach up to you, it shows you things you probably didn't realize, like the fact that she winced when she went to raise her arms to hug you, the way she ambled from behind the counter to greet you, the fact that she didn't go pull the items herself, knowing exactly which ones that you needed, the crutches that were poking out from behind the desk. And it replays what you said to her, that you would help her, hopefully end her suffering. And the creature likes that, so you gain a +1 in your Kiss Me. We are now at the meat creep section of the game. So, you will be using your Deft, Curious, and Charming to max out the scale. I think you only need one more in Kiss Me. We're on a positive note here. What could possibly go wrong? Upon drawing these memories out, the song continues to play in your ear, and it seems to just draw you closer and closer to it. The path lights up again, and you are now face to face with this creature. So when you gaze upon the Mycelid, you see the two large, white, glowing eyes. The skin is a sort of pale white color, the same color you would expect from a mushroom stalk. Its hair, or the hair on its head, is the cap of the mushroom, sort of just being pulled down backwards to emulate long hair, similar to what the drawing was. Its hands are humanoid hands, however they have, like the webbing, and its feet are like hooves. But the rest of it looks relatively humanoid.
And on Jim actually finally getting to see this as he comes out of his almost stupor that he was in, he can do nothing but smile and say, "You are gorgeous, just as I thought." Yeah, oh yeah, this is charming, baby.
Oh yeah, alright, roll that Charming. And you'll need to beat the number that I pull out from this card, so you also get your pluses and your negatives from your Kiss Me Kill Me, so let's try and resist this monster. You need to beat a 6.
Alright, so I technically have +3 in Kiss Me, but it's going to be +2 because I have 1 in Kill Me, correct?
Correct, yep.
Alright, so 3, 6 plus 2. That's a 15 total.
And that ending comes really quickly, but you know what? It's a good ending. So, describe to me what the perfect ending with this Mycelid creature that Jim has named Arwen is going to look like.
I think Jim knows he screwed up earlier by trying to go in for a hug, and I think he will just open, his arms are open, but also he thinks, well, this thing connected essentially telepathically with him, and he will also motion to his head, and he will open his mind to Arwen, and now she can see totally things that he's went through, but what he's wanting, and it's just to love and be loved. And once Arwen can see that, he will embrace and say, Do I need, and we'll say, if anything else comes here, I'm here to not defend you, but to help you. You'll say, if you would have me, I would have you.
And in response, the creature will reach out and touch his chest where his heart is, and he feels that warm sensation again as the spores kick up around him in a bit of a whirlwind, and they gaze into each other's eyes. What is Jim gonna do now?
He acquires just the few spores he needs, and he will, in the night, deliver them to the lady at the odds and ends store with a note that says, I wish you nothing but the best of health. There will be no more contact again, and he will not, obviously, take his money back. He doesn't need it anymore. And he also, because he does this in the dead of night, he flips every building off in town. Fuck you guys. I was gonna die.
Thank you for tuning in to the Cryptid Chronicles as part of the 2024 Drama Does TTRPG Halloween Special. A huge shout out to TadhgtheBard, the brilliant mind behind OK Cryptid. Be sure to check them out on Twitter. If you enjoyed this episode and want more, don't forget to follow Drama Does TTRPG wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow the Cool Cids Club on Twitter at Cool Cids Club. That's COOLCIDSCLUB for all the latest updates on upcoming episodes. And of course, if you want to help us grow, please like, rate, comment, save, and share this podcast with your friends. We appreciate your support. Until next time, stay curious, stay spooky, and keep exploring the unknown.